The Great Ocean Road is one of the most iconic stretches of road in Australia. Winding its way along 243 kilometres of rugged coastline, it connects townships that were once only accessible by boat or by an arduous journey through hard country. Built in part by returned servicemen, the road is a living memorial to the Victorians who served in World War I and the longest war memorial in the world. 2019 marks 100 years since construction began. The town of Wye River is approximately 160 kilometres from Melbourne, located on the river it's named after. The people of Eastern Maar have been the traditional owners of this land for over 40,000 years.
We can say quite confidently we've been here forever. And there's a satisfaction in knowing that. My grandfather, his grandparents were alive when Europeans came into our territory and set up camp for the first time. So it isn't that long ago.
Wye River was first settled by Europeans in 1882. Timber was the main industry, and in 1900 a pier was built near Sturt Point to export it. The timber industry eventually declined and the town was abandoned. The area was bought by the Great Ocean Road Trust, and the land was sold and rented to raise funds to pay the workers who were building the Great Ocean Road. When tolls were brought in as a way of funding the road, not everyone could pay, with some people donating time instead of money.
Now there's a couple of guys at the Wye River. How about a handout, for building the Great Ocean Road? Or they said, we haven't got 2 bob to scratch ourselves with, and we can't do that, or we haven't got any money to give you. But what we'll do, we'll work around the Wye River area for nothing, and we'll donate our time for that. And that was one of the biggest contributions ever, because they're used to hard work, probably brought their own pick and shovel, and a lot of it was stone, rock.
The most difficult part of the Great Ocean Road is the part from Eastern View to a place called Cape Patton. This is terrain that is rugged, steep, dense bush and cliffs that fell away to the ocean. And this was the section that the returned servicemen built.
Camps were set up in Wye River and other locations along the coast to house workers involved in the construction of the Great Ocean Road.
Living in the camps would have provided a degree of comfort, hot meals. The fact is, it was still living in a tent in the Otway Ranges, and that's not a comfortable experience, particularly in winter. We have occasions where we get snow down to 200 metres. We get occasions when the temperature will drop to 2 degrees. So whilst it provided some degree of comfort, it was still a rugged environment.
Their accommodation was basic. White tents lined up in neat rows. A dining and recreation marquee was set up for meals and relaxation after a long day's work.
They had guns that they can go and shoot, they had rods, they go and fish, and if it was a big camp that was going to stay there for several months, they could give them seeds and they could grow vegetables and various things.
Their lunches were brought to them by the cook, and a hot meal was ready for them when they returned from work. Wye River is where the rainforest meets the sea. With camping at the river mouth and direct access to the main beach, it's the perfect place for fishing and exploring.
There's something about this part of the coast that I just love. It's this conjunction of the ocean and the forest. To me, it's just the best place in the world.
To hear more stories of the Great Ocean Road, continue west onto Apollo Bay or east to Lorne, Anglesea and Torquay.